Let's build a business based on H to H, not B2B, but human-to-human sales and marketing automation. A human approach is the only one that sells.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for listening to the next episode of our podcast. Today it's going to be only myself looking at changes within HubSpot ecosystem. As a partner, we had a number of betas and access to different new features announcing during the spring, and I would like to just go through to the changes HubSpot made. First of all, thank you very much for everyone who's listening to me. This podcast is all about sales, all about getting value for the customers, using technology to be more focused, more streamlined. HubSpot every single year is announcing 2 spotlights. Typically it is around springtime now, and the next one is during the inbound, which is called autumn, or rather fall in the US. Spotlight, it reflects key milestones of the company growth, announcing lots of different changes within HubSpot ecosystem, but also new features and direction the company is heading to. So this year's spotlight theme is value. Value is very important part of AI ecosystem. What HubSpot realized is that unlike a majority of ChatGPTs, Gemini, all of the AIs, business doesn't get any value. There's just quite a lot of noise and unnecessarily interruption within their business. And what do they want to focus on is value. So the whole context is, instead of creating generic content, general outreach, general information for the clients, that CRM should show you who are you. And HubSpot recently made lots of changes around that, considering, for example, branding, where you are able to add your expression, your product, not in terms of the sales, but who are you, what are your ideal clients, what to say, what not to say. That was really, really important part of their move. What they're saying now in 2026 is the context matters. And what context means is how to make a priority over one prospect, how to segment the products they're interested in, how to segment the contacts, who sent invitation for demos, and so on and so forth. So because of that context and value, HubSpot is adding massive value for their own AI use by saying, hey guys, all context is within your CRM. If you have HubSpot, if you record all of the calls, if you have an enrichment made, if your teams are using all of the functions that are around HubSpot, then you've got the context. It's just a matter of then use it. So what are the changes coming into HubSpot? So first massive change is focus on Content Hub and specifically on AEO function, Answer Engine Optimisation function. So traditionally, market used to focus on search engine optimization. People search things, and we all know the backlinks story around your content strategy, then obviously finding interesting topic, running the blog. That was all the strategy we all did within our business. Is changing is SEO is still important strategy out of AEO, and AEO is all about us driving traffic from AI, from ChatGPT, Gemini, Cloud, and so on. So what HubSpot is saying, that old playbook is all to rank on Google, optimize your website, get clicks, traffic and rankings. That is our success metric. And what mattered is basically your website quality. And your website 100% reflects the measurement of the success. Now, in the new reality with AEO, the goal is to get recommended by AI, isn't it? So the way it works is to build consensus across different channels so AI can recommend you. So it's not only your website, but basically it's your brand mentions, how often your brand is mentioned across different channels in YouTube, LinkedIn, and others. So the source in AEO is, unlike in SEO website, is yes, website is still, it's about 5, 8, 10%. But then we've got Reddit, we've got reviews, news, YouTube, and so on and so forth. So What is HubSpot AEO? HubSpot AEO is a tool to improve how often and how accurately your brand appears in AI generated answers. Still in beta, but you are able to have to look at different citations, different prompt tracking, engine support, competitor analysis, and brand visibility dashboard. You will be able to see what people are asking, where your results should come. And we'll also give you recommendation what to do in order to be there. What types of content do we need to produce in order to be recognized in these AI engines? And I'm excited to do that part, also within our own agency, just reflecting what are the gaps. And obviously SEO and all of the work is still much relevant. What we need to do is to be more clever and create basically the content at scale that will answer the questions asked by people via AI. So that's AEO. I will definitely link up some more context about that. As a summary, context matters. So once you know your citation, your prompts that you want to follow, then you need to create a content at speed that will answer all the questions, but that content should reflect who are you, and where all of the information are about you is obviously your CRM. Content will be created based on your branding, your context, your expression, basically. Another changes inside the HubSpot is Breeze Assistant. The Breeze Assistant gets better and understand the context that you're in, whether you are just searching for information or building next campaign. HubSpot is saying that Breeze Assistant is basically your knowledge base of your business, and it knows, what campaign you run better than others, how to create the content up to the, how to prospect within the business. So really interesting subject, and you are now able to create your own assistants, obviously own GPTs type of idea. So you can create one, for example, to onboard your new employees, for example, or I don't know, give the guidance for new salesperson joining the team, how to prospect, and you can build that resources around obviously your. So we've tested this out. Is getting better. There are some gaps around, but that context will create the really real value for all of us, for all users. As we all know, that HubSpot AI without any context is basically a spam. Another update announced by HubSpot is the introduction of better prospecting agent. So Prospecting Agent is with us for, I think, just about a year. Apparently, instead of sending sequences to clients, you can pick up your contacts, apply and enroll Prospecting Agent depending on selling profile. Then you are able to basically create emails that will outreach to your prospect. It could be self-autonomous email, or you can basically approve it before sending them through. So what is changing now is HubSpot is announcing far more investment in that project. Basically, it's end-to-end. We never had a chance yet to look at what is new, but apparently it is end-to-end story where Prospecting Agent will tell you who are the prospects who are actually engaging, who is your really good clients, what will find out the signals and use context within HubSpot and also outside of HubSpot. So there is an interesting way of creating context. You can now add more sources for a context such as SARF or Apollo. And then system once is plugged in, then we'll find the information from also third-party sources to create that crafted campaign. And apparently, HubSpot is saying the Prospecting Agent is getting far, far better, far more accurate, and describing obviously the context within you've got more out. So number one, the pain point that the Prospecting Agent is helping is basically wasted time on manual research for that prospect. So basically, system will figure it out based on CRM who is your prospect. Then incomplete buyer committee. So basically, HubSpot will help you to find not only one but number of people who will make that decision. So it's more B2B or account-based marketing. And instead of generic outreach that gets ignored, HubSpot will now use our context within HubSpot to basically give you more precise outreach. So it's very exciting. I think this one is very interesting because agent will detect signals such as job posting, funding rounds. Now it will complete buying committees. So it's something that was really much important for a large businesses and attacking for a corporate sales and they call it personalized outreach drafted automatically. This is all comes within prospecting agent. I'm excited to get in and find out more about what is going on and how is basically doing it. Really interesting final update. There are lots of minor changes like smart deal progression and customer agents announced. So it's going to be basically better and the system will look for the data based on your behaviors and will help you to move that deal forward and fill out all of the properties based on your conversations. And customer agents will become more agentic because obviously it will take into consideration all of the information from the CRM. So that's one of many different idea of changes really that HubSpot will announce. And there are tons of different changes within the system. For example, now Chrome extension for calling or historic email import, forecast read API, sales document updates, plenty of different way. TikTok integrations, Reddit integrations is coming, WhatsApp home, deal properties will come in forms. There are plenty of different types of changes coming into the system, and we definitely would like you to subscribe and dial in to see what is going on, how this affects your business. Please comment under this podcast and let us know what type of changes are you really familiar best with. What do you like really to do HubSpot next in terms of changes and updates, and any comments how you use new functions would be appreciated. Thank you very much for listening up and hope to see you later. Bye.
Let's build a business based on H to H, not B2B, but human to human sales and marketing automation. A human approach is the only one that sells.